There is a silent weight that many people carry, a feeling of powerlessness in the face of what frustrates, blocks, or drains the soul. A quiet wish to stop suffering, to stop being defeated by circumstances, to breathe again without feeling crushed by invisible walls. But this pain is not failure. It's a quiet invitation, a whisper from life itself, calling us to change how we face adversity. The Stoics never promised ease. They promised strength, not through denial, but through transformation. The mistake is thinking that overcoming means avoiding difficulty. In truth, it means going through it again and again with clarity and dignity. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, once wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." There is no escape from pain. There is only the crossing. Seneca added, "Adversity awakens capacities that would have slept in ease." The obstacle is not punishment. It's your fire. It awakens what was asleep, and it shapes the strength you didn't know you had. This video is not just advice. It's a guide to help you rise through what hurts. Here are 10 Stoic lessons that turn stone into steps. Each one is a quiet weapon, not to destroy the obstacle, but to become unshakable within it. The obstacle is not the end. The obstacle is the path. Now breathe, and let's begin the first lesson. The first illusion that traps us is the belief that the obstacle is a mistake, that it shouldn't be there, that life took a wrong turn. But the Stoics saw it differently. Marcus Aurelius said it clearly, "What stands in the way becomes the way." The obstacle is not outside the path. It is the path. There is no path to strength that avoids resistance, no wisdom that comes without struggle. But we've been taught to curse discomfort, to see pain as punishment, to believe that failure means something is broken. But what if nothing is broken? What if this pain is your teacher? To resist what is only deepens the suffering. To accept it is the beginning of transformation. Think of a tree root pressing against stone. It doesn't stop growing. It curves. It strengthens. It expands. So the question is not, why is this happening to me? The real question is, how is this shaping who I'm becoming? Then the obstacle changes. It's no longer a wall. It's a step. No longer a weight. It becomes a platform. Pain no longer paralyzes. It refines. It prepares. It strengthens. The obstacle is not a mistake. It's not an enemy. It's a quiet master, calling you to evolve. Not in spite of the challenge, but because of it. Now breathe. The next lesson will teach you the art of letting go. Much of our exhaustion comes from trying to control what was never ours. We try to control outcomes, timing, other people, the future. But Epictetus reminds us, some things are up to us and some are not. Inside that truth lives your peace, your clarity, your strength. When you cling to what you cannot change, you become a prisoner of chaos. But when you focus on what belongs to you, your choices, your effort, your mindset, you become free. It's like a sailor. He doesn't command the wind. He doesn't curse the storm. He adjusts the sails. Ask yourself, what can I control right now? And what must I release? Letting go is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's alignment. It's emotional clarity. Every moment you spend fighting what's outside your control is a moment stolen from what you can actually change. Peace isn't passive, it's precise, and it starts with the courage to surrender what was never yours. Now breathe. The next lesson will teach you how to protect your dignity no matter what the world throws at you. We suffer when we forget what truly matters. A harsh word, a missed opportunity, a broken bond, and suddenly we feel like we've lost ourselves. But the Stoics taught a different way. Seneca said, "We are not lacking strength, only the will." The world is unstable, but your virtue, your character, is yours, and nothing can take it from you. So ask yourself, did this pain touch my integrity? Did it change who I am? If not, then I'm still whole. Like a stone beaten by waves but never moved. Its surface may weather, but its core remains. The Stoic doesn't run from pain. He stands within it. He guards what is essential: his principles, his purpose, his peace. The world can take many things, but it cannot take your choice to remain true. That quiet decision, that inner anchor, that's your real power. Now breathe, because the next lesson will prepare you to face hardship before it even arrives. Most people hope for an easy life, and when it isn't, they collapse. Not because it's too hard, but because they never trained for it. Seneca warned, "Misfortune is most intolerable to those who have never known anything else." Pain surprises the unprepared. The Stoic prepares. He imagines difficulty, not to suffer twice, but to suffer less. This isn't negativity, it's armor, it's clarity, it's training. Each morning becomes a quiet rehearsal. What if I'm rejected today? What if I lose what I love? What if nothing goes as planned? By imagining hardship, you take away its shock. You become familiar with discomfort, and it loses its power. Like a general who studies the terrain before battle, the Stoic prepares. Not for everything, but for anything. When the storm arrives, he doesn't panic. He was already there, in his mind. Now breathe. The next lesson will teach you how to stop fighting time and start walking with it. We don't suffer because things take time. We suffer because we think they shouldn't. Healing feels slow, change feels distant, and growth too far to see. So we fight the clock, we curse the delays, we call it failure. But the Stoics didn't see time as the enemy. They saw it as a companion. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "No great thing is created suddenly." A sculptor doesn't strike once and expect perfection. He strikes again and again, patiently, quietly, without drama, without demand. And so must we. One breath at a time, one step, one decision. Impatience is noise, but strength is quiet repetition. We don't climb the mountain with leaps. We climb with rhythm, with presence, with grace. Let time shape you, not like fire that burns, but like water that smooths the stone. Now breathe. The next lesson will free you from waiting for clarity and teach you to move even through the fog. We crave certainty. We want signs. We wait for perfect plans before we take the first step. But the Stoic knows clarity is not what comes first. Action comes first. Hesitation feeds fear, but movement dissolves it. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." That doing begins now, not when everything is clear, not when you feel ready. Now, with what you have, with what you know. Like a sailor in the fog, you may not see the shore, but you trust the sail. You trust your hands. You trust the next wave. You don't need the full map, just the next step. Then the next, and the next. Progress isn't loud. It's steady. It's quiet. It's a choice, repeated in silence. Now breathe, because the next lesson will show you how pain can become your most powerful guide. Pain is not your enemy. Avoiding it is. Most people run from discomfort, but the Stoic turns toward it. He doesn't seek pain, but when it comes, he listens. Because pain reveals what is still weak. It says, "Strengthen this." It shows you where you still need to grow. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Pain is not punishment. It's a signal. It doesn't break you. It builds you. Just like fire purifies gold, your struggle purifies your character. Pain doesn't make you bitter. It makes you deeper, wiser, more whole. Avoid pain and you avoid transformation. Face it and you find a strength you never knew you had. Now breathe, because the next lesson will show you how to face what life takes without losing yourself in the process. There will be times when life takes people, dreams, takes your sense of direction. And in those moments, you may feel like you've lost everything. But the Stoic knows you can lose what is outside you without losing what lives within you. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You may lose status. You may lose approval. You may even lose the path you thought you were meant to walk. But your character, your courage, your integrity, these are yours to protect. When the storm comes, Anchor yourself to what cannot be taken. Let grief come. Let disappointment move through you. But don't let them define you. Because who you are is not determined by what you lose. It's revealed by how you rise. Now, breathe. Because the next lesson will remind you that even time itself is not your enemy. We don't suffer because things take too long. We suffer because we think they shouldn't. Healing feels slow. Growth feels far. Change feels uncertain. And in our rush, we turn time into an enemy. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us, no great thing is created suddenly. Time is not working against you. It's shaping you, quietly, patiently, without applause. A sculptor doesn't strike once and expect perfection. He returns to the stone again and again, trusting the process. So must we. One breath at a time, one small step, one moment of discipline. Impatience is noise, but strength is silent repetition. You don't climb a mountain in one leap. You rise through presence, through trust, through calm persistence. Let time mold you, not like fire that burns, but like water that smooths the stone. Now breathe, because the final lesson will change how you carry every moment that follows. We live as if time is infinite, as if we'll always have tomorrow. To begin, to speak, to heal, to change. But the Stoics confronted a deeper truth. You could leave life at any moment. And because of that, every moment matters. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." This truth is not meant to scare you. It's meant to awaken you. When you remember that life is brief, you stop waiting. You stop wasting time on what doesn't serve you. You stop clinging to things that were never meant to stay. Even your greatest obstacle looks different when you see it through the lens of mortality. It won't last. You won't last. And that's not something to fear. That's something to honor. When you truly remember that everything ends, you begin to live with urgency. Not the urgency of panic, but the urgency of purpose. Memento Mori is not darkness. It is light. A reminder that every breath is sacred. That even your pain belongs to something greater. Now breathe, because you've just remembered what truly matters, and what it means to walk through adversity without losing your soul. Overcoming isn't something that happens once. It's not a victory that stays still. It's a discipline, a posture, a quiet decision, repeated, refined, reinforced. Epictetus lived with physical limitations, but his spirit was untouchable. Because he didn't wait for the world to change, he changed the way he moved through it. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire in chaos, yet he remained calm. Not because things were easy, but because his values were clear. The Stoics didn't teach us to avoid obstacles. They taught us how to transform them. Every lesson in this video is a step, not a solution, but a practice, something you can return to again and again when life tests you. So choose one lesson today. Apply it, not as a quick fix, but as a quiet seed, a commitment to strength, to integrity, to becoming unshakable from the inside out. Like the bamboo that bends with the storm but never breaks, you can learn to face your obstacles with grace, with clarity, with inner peace. Because the obstacle is not the end. The obstacle is the path. And if this video brought you even a moment of clarity, a breath of calm, or the strength to keep going, then like it, comment something real, and subscribe to walk this path with us. We'll be right here, in the silence, waiting for you.